Alright, good morning everyone. This is Journeyman 650 and I have the pleasure of riding and reviewing a Scrambler 400X, which is the 400cc offering from Triumph. Now this is a bike made in collaboration with Bajaj. Sorry about that, rumble strips. So this is a bike made in collaboration with Bajaj, and well, it looks like a Triumph. It's got a very mature look to it, but we'll come to looks a bit later. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. Right now what I want to take you through is some of the boring stuff, the engine specs. So it is a 400cc engine, if you didn't guess by now, and it has 40 horsepower of peak power at somewhere around 8500 rpms and 37.5 newton meters of torque, I think at 6500 rpms. It weighs 185 kilos, so I think it's neither too heavy nor too light. It's a very tall bike, so 835 millimeters seat height. So I'm 6 feet tall. I could swing a leg over it, but I would also mostly prefer to do that ADV thing where you put your foot on the foot peg and then you kind of swing a leg around. So yeah, but one thing which has impressed me the most in the past 10 kilometers I have ridden this bike is the roll-on acceleration. In case you don't know, or even if you do know roll-on acceleration, I'll just give you a bit of an idea. It's really dependent on your torque, and it's your in-gear acceleration. So, whoa, okay. So let's say I am in 5th gear right now, and I'm doing. Let us come down to maybe, all right, 50 kilometers per hour, and I whack open the throttle. And you see the surge of acceleration that you get. Now if your roll-on acceleration is good, it will be fast. If it's not that great, you'll accelerate a bit slowly. So usually roll-on acceleration is what matters a lot when you're commuting and you're in city traffic, and you kind of need to do quick overtakes. In case you didn't notice, I took that speed breaker on 3rd gear. That's how much torque this bike has. And on paper, I know the torque number isn't huge, like 37.5 newton meters, but again, I think it makes it on such low RPMs that it's not even an issue. It actually feels like my Interceptor, and I think that's a beautiful thing. They've managed to take out that much torque, or produce that much torque. Look at that, 4th gear, that was a speed breaker. Yes, I was a little fast, but you get an idea. I mean, this feels like it's got a cruiser's engine inside it. It is a Scrambler. It has very nice suspension, very supple. It's got decent acceleration, and it costs about 3.3 lakhs on road Bangalore. So what are the downsides? I can't tell you yet. I've only been on this bike for a few kilometers, but I'm going to take it out on the highway. We're going to see the highway cruisability of this motorcycle. Fair warning, I believe my friend Nasir, from whom I have borrowed this bike, seems to have put handlebar risers on it. So it's not a stock bike. It's also got some aux lights in it, but the point is, it's not a stock motorcycle, so impressions might not be exactly of a stock motorcycle, but still we'll try to do some justice to it. Okay, I remember this part is, oh, look at that is just some bad roads. Let's see what we can do here. Yeah, the torque is just there, it's got your back. No, just let me reach the highway, and maybe a little bit Yeah, once we reach the highway, I'll be able to give some different insights. We're just going through traffic right now, so yeah, let's do that. So folks, we are on the highway. I'm in the top gear right now, feeling some mild vibrations around the 5000 rpm mark. Nothing that is bothering me, nothing that is a deal breaker, but it's definitely there, and I think you can expect that. It's a single cylinder engine at the end of the day. It's not going to be a absolutely vibe free like a parallel twin, but I just am enjoying the surge of torque this thing has. Let's see, let's drop the speed. We are at what, 60, let's make it 50. There you go. You pick it up and you immediately feel the torque, and you can see the speed rising pretty quickly from the top gear. And that's what this bike, I think its USP is the torque, is the roll-on acceleration. I know I've said it a few times, and this is a very practical bike. It is giving me those vibes. It's a very practical, mature, grown-up motorcycle. Is it giggle inducing? No. But is it something you can tour on and not get bothered by it? You won't feel exhausted at the end of maybe a 500-600 kilometer day. I think it's one of those bikes. It's definitely the latter. And for touring at the end of the day, you need something like that. So I know this is a Scrambler, but in our country, people tour on all sorts of motorcycles. You've seen people touring on even commuter motorcycles, and it can be done, right? So for me, this so-called Scrambler motorcycle is actually a very good tourer. I would take this on a long ride across states any day over, let's say, the Guerrilla. That's my initial impressions. I have not ridden the Guerrilla on the highway yet, so again, can't say, but I just feel that the initial feel I'm getting from this after riding this a good 30-40 kilometers at this point is that it will be a very good tourer, and definitely better than the Guerrilla. The Guerrilla is a better city bike. I think there's no two ways about it, despite the fact that it doesn't have the same roll-on acceleration that this baby has. But just in terms of engagement, I think it's a slightly better motorcycle. Right, and yeah, I'm just just enjoying this nice highway right now. This is what this bike was absolutely created to do. And side to side movement is decent. It feels lighter than the Guerrilla, but at the same time I think it's taller. You can definitely feel that height. I mean, there's almost a 50 millimeter difference between the two bikes. I think that is like 785 mm seat height. This is 835 mm. You definitely feel that. You get the feeling that you are seated on top of this bike. Let's try to take it up to 100, which is the usual cruising speed. Okay, I'm getting some handlebar vibrations as well at this point. Very small. They're filtering in through the gloves though, so yeah, that's probably something you need to get used to. I think bring it down to 90, and this is the comfort zone of this motorcycle. Yeah, feels relaxed. Feels like it's simple. The world is simpler. That's what it feels like. Very nice brakes. Very nice. And the suspension is, chef's kiss. Mwah. Lovely suspension. I mean, of course, the gold standard might be the Himalayan, but this is not bad at all. Alright guys, not gonna bore you too much with the monotonous highway anymore. I think it's time we take a stop and summarize what the bike is like, and also give you a bit of a view of, you know, how it looks like when a 6 foot tall person sits on the bike. What is the handlebar position like? What are the ergonomics like? So let's do that. All right, guys. Just wanted to show you that the seating position of the Scrambler 400X. I'm about 6 feet tall. This is a tall bike. This is like 835 millimeters. But what does that mean in actual terms? So let's see if I can swing a leg over it in the traditional manner. Little tough, but not too much. So as you can see here, it's got a couple of mods. It's got handlebar risers, so won't exactly give you a proper picture, but it's more or less I'm sitting pretty straightforward. It's a comfortable place to be in. And yeah, let's see if it's as easy to dismount off. Yeah, I think the seat is also very comfortable, although a few mods have been done to it. It's a little firm, but I think for long highway rides, it's going to be pretty decent. Uh, It feels compact. It is a compact motorcycle, but make no mistake, it's very comfortable. I mean, I've been enjoying the suspension travel. Uh, Even the engine, which I mentioned, has amazing roll-on acceleration. It's just one of those things you need to experience. And I quite like the dual silencer tips over here also. I think in terms of, if you just look at the profile of the bike, definitely doesn't look like something that Bajaj would make. It has that whole Triumph vibe to it, and I'm really liking this. I think matte greenish paint on this thing goes well with the background as well. But yeah, uh, yeah, it's been fun riding this bike. Uh, I certainly hope I get an opportunity to ride it again. Um, yeah, that's about it. I think summing up my thoughts, I would just say that it's a very practical, very mature bike. To be honest, maybe if I compare it with the Guerrilla, not as much of a grin-inducing bike, but this is one of those things that you can feel that the quality is like it's built to last. Just look at the switch gear quality. Just look at the overall finishing. I mean, just even these parts. There's a aluminium part on this side. Sorry, I did not show that. Or yeah, but the overall the quality levels are extremely high. Um, Now, at the same price with the Gorilla 450, would I pick this over the Gorilla? Not sure. On the highway, it's been an absolute peach. I have not ridden the Gorilla on the highway, so jury is still out on that. In the city, I think it's a more tractable engine. It's a more practical engine. But if you want something that you want to rev out a little bit, I think the Gorilla is definitely a slightly better option. That's just my personal opinion. Um, yeah. Thank you for watching.